guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news. Over the past few days, we do have some big topics to discuss. Firstly, the biggest news, without a doubt, has been the fact that Barcelona's #1 summer target confirmed, official, Luis Diaz. He is going to be the player that Barcelona is going to be torquing for all summer. The club are very confident that they do like the player. The issue now is going to be the price. Liverpool asking for 75 million euros for Luis Diaz. We're going to talk about all that details around that. Also around the fact that Joan Laporta has sent scouts and Barcelona board directors to watch Alexander Isak for Newcastle. He is the dream signing. If he was affordable, the club would definitely go for him, but since he's out of reach right now, they're kind of hoping that he's, still on the market in the next 2 years. That way we can sign him in the future. But again, a player that we are following. So big exit updates as well around Clement Lenglet and Araujo. Big renewal updates on Szczęsny, Kounde, and Ferran Torres. 2 huge injury blows that we did suffer after the Atletico Madrid game in Casado and Inigo. And finally, the biggest news as well, probably alongside the Luis Diaz story, the Osasuna game that was cancelled has been rescheduled during the international break. Absolute chaos. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below and let's try and get to 200 likes on this video. It would be very much appreciated. Also, if you are new, make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Now, before we get into this video is sponsored by Number One Foot. Number One Foot is by far the best replica jersey website on the market, and it's not even close. They have a variety of different items at the absolute best prices. They sent me 2 kits recently. First one is the retro Barcelona kit, the home kit, which I'm currently wearing right now, and also as well the second kit for that season in the blue edition. Oh my god, like the stitching is fantastic. The quality is, superb. Feels like I have the actual, original kit for a fraction of the price. And if you use the discount code BOY at checkout, you do get 10% off your order. That's BOY. Use it at checkout, and all orders above $80 as well will receive free shipping. So what are you waiting for? Hit the top link in the description down below and get your new football kits today. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past few days. First up is this monster report coming in from Tony Juan Marti of Sport, and when I saw this, I was absolutely in distraught. He's come out saying this: it won't be easy, but Barcelona will try to sign Luis Diaz this summer. The winger is becoming a serious option for Deco, and he's very interested as well in joining Barcelona, of course. Speaking about the player, Deco has already informally contacted Diaz's camp, but financial restrictions preventing Barcelona from making a concrete move. Barca is already calculating how to generate enough FFP for the transfer that would likely cost 70 to 75 million euros. To achieve this, Barcelona knows it must sell players. I could not believe my eyes. It's been a well-known fact, I've said it in multiple videos, that I know for a fact that if Deco could sign any player in the world right now, it would be Luis Diaz. He some way, somehow loves the player, very versatile. He's a good winger, can play as a striker as well. The South American vibes, I don't know what it is, but it's been very, very known for the past, I would say probably a year now. Deco likes Luis Diaz. I'm thinking Luis Diaz, he's got 2 years left on his deal with Liverpool, and maybe he's in 1 year, I'm not quite too sure. He maybe costs around 50, 60 at the absolute most. We're touching 80 million euros for Diaz. Now here's the kicker. Of course, he's not worth it. He is not worth it. I've seen Liverpool fans reacting to this saying, oh my god, we're going to scam Barcelona of 75 million euros. Luis Diaz is not a 75 million pound player. He's a 50, and when it's that far of a gap, there's no way you can argue it. Now, of course, there is the arguments of other players that are on the market, with our reports coming out also about Rafael Leao. Tony Juan Marti also came out saying that Leao is only very much appreciated by Joan Laporta, but within the club, other names like Luis Diaz, Nico Williams, even Alexander Isak are considered to be better options than Leao. So again, the club will really see him as an option. Speaking on Nico Williams, the fact that Nico Williams is 60 million euros, so you can get him on a release clause and save 15 to 20 million euros off him when he's younger, knows the league, knows the language, knows basically the entire squad personally and on a sporting level. I mean, there is really no comparison. Now, also, we have a big drop as well from David Ornstein, probably the #1 football journalist in the world, saying that Barcelona have been long linked with Luis Diaz and their admiration for him is genuine. He's saying the interest is real. Barcelona do want to sign Diaz. They do like the player. And again, Diaz has made it very clear in the media that he's keen on a move. Of course, his dad works for Barcelona. Every single time he does an interview, of course, when he was held captivated, what was it, a season or two ago, he came out saying that my dream for my son is Barcelona. So I mean, I don't mind Luis Diaz as a player, but this price is absolutely outrageous. A lot of people are comparing this to Dani Olmo from last summer. Oh no, Barca fan wanted Dani Olmo, he ended up coming and he ended up cooking, which is true. But we were okay with the price. The issue with Dani Olmo was we didn't think that he fit what we needed. That money could be spent better on maybe a fullback or left back. We thought he was all a luxury signing. This is a sign that we desperately need. We need winger depth in this team. And for 75 million, Luis Diaz just ain't it. This for me will be an absolutely catastrophic signing for this price. And also don't forget, Luis Diaz is not only inconsistent, also very injury prone as well. So it's just, I'm feeling that the only thing that can justify me spending this kind of money is because he's versatile, which apparently what Barcelona really looking for. Oh, 2 versus 1 style. Let's try and get a left winger who's a winger but can also play as a striker. Well, you already had kind of Ferran Torres for that mold. Why bring in another player of the exact same profile? I am very scared that Barcelona are going to overpay for Luis Diaz. I don't think we're going to touch 75 million euros, but I can definitely see, offering 70 million as a package to Liverpool, maybe 60 plus 10, something like that. I'm very scared we're going to offer that kind of amount, which he is not worth whatsoever. But time will tell. Hopefully we're too broken off not to spend this kind of. I would rather not sign Luis Diaz. I'd rather not sign a left winger than sign Luis Diaz for 75 million euros. It just screams and reeks of just pathetic and failure, in my opinion. So we'll see how these turn out, but do not take away from the fact that the interest is real. Barcelona do want to sign Luis Diaz. They're going to make some moves for him. They're going to try their best to make the signing possible. The sporting director Deco is a big fan, and right now we're hearing the price will be around 70 to 75 million euros. Now, if you take money out of the equation, if Barcelona could sign someone that's actually, that genuinely makes sense, as a genuine reality, and money was not an issue, the club without a doubt would pick Alexander Isak. The reports coming in from the Daily Mail saying that Barcelona's priority is to sign a long-term replacement for Robert Lewandowski, and Deco is a big fan of Alexander Isak's goal scoring and versatility as well, given the fact that he can also play on the left wing as well. Following, of course, Newcastle's big Carabao Cup win against Liverpool this past weekend, the Daily Mail came out again saying that Barcelona attendees, scouts, board members were in attendance in the game last week against West Ham. Joan Laporta, the president of Barcelona, is a huge admirer of Isak and wants a top signing, but Newcastle's president does not want to sell under Alexander Isak by any means necessary this summer. He told the club to reject all offers for him this summer, no matter the price. You're cooked. No one's getting Isak this summer, which I think is a positive thing because that means he'll be available in the future. I think, again, if I could pick anyone in the world right now to sign, it would be Isak. I just think he fits the mold for Barcelona in absolute pure perfection. I think the price, like Luis Diaz, a bit outrageous. I would be more comfortable spending 120 million on Isak than it would be 75 million on Luis Diaz. But I still think Isak 120 million is a bit too much. I think he's probably, I would say, 85-90 million pound player for what he's done this season. I think he's probably at face value probably 75, but with the juice, the Premier League juice, what he's done this season, you can bump it up to 85-90-ish. So I think he's definitely a world-class player. I probably thought a dream signing for Barcelona. Even Tony Marti came out saying this as well. As in an ideal world without financial obstacles, Alexander Isak would be Barcelona's top priority. However, he's under contract 2028, and Newcastle will want to sell him for minimum 120. Of course, the president now saying after this they don't want to sell him at all for any price. So this is why we're not going for Isak, because it's just too overpriced in terms of the fee, whereas Luis Diaz is expensive but is affordable. That is the issue there. So we'll see what happens in the future. Again, if Alexander Isak stays put at Newcastle this summer, who knows what will happen. If he survives another summer, does not renew his deal, he'll have 2 years left on his deal, then that time's probably the best time to sell him. So we'll wait and see on that. But again, if Barcelona could sign any forward this summer without financial constraints, it would be Alexander Isak. He is the dream signing, but unfortunately a dream that won't become a reality this summer anyways. Let's now discuss the players that have been rumored to leave Barcelona over the past few days. First up is Clement Lenglet. Our leave up come out saying that Atletico Madrid will offer Barcelona 8 million euros for Lenglet in the summer, but Barcelona is asking for around 12 million euros, and a deal could be closed for around 10. I am still in absolute shock that Barcelona are going to end up getting a transfer fee for Clement Lenglet. This, for me, is probably the best thing Joan Laporta has achieved since being re-elected the president in 2021. Forget the Spotify Camp Nou, but forget the economic levers. Forget maybe winning a quadruple this season, or a treble, or a double, or whatever has happened over the past few years. The CVC deal, rejecting that, getting the registrations done for all these players. Forget all that. Selling Clement Lenglet will be his greatest achievement for a decent price. If you asked me this past summer, ideal price, fair price for Lenglet, what would you say? I probably would have said 5 million. We're about to get double that in a best case scenario. Of course, the main thing, getting rid of him off the wage bill, is absolutely monumentally huge as well. Of course, he is doing well for Atletico. Shout out to them. They can have him. They can keep him. If we get a transfer fee of, more than 7 million for Clement Lenglet, that is the biggest W I've probably seen Barcelona take since winning the treble in the 2014-15 season. So hopefully Atletico don't, fall through on their promise, and they do end up signing Lenglet on a permanent basis. Again, the talks have been going on, I believe, since the beginning of February about, discussing a permanent signing this summer. So I think it will happen in the end. Now just kind of waiting for the logistics of the operation. Hopefully you don't bottle it and let him go for free because of his fat wages. But again, any transfer fee and also getting rid of the player himself, it would be absolutely huge for Barcelona this summer. Now, another center back of Barcelona that could potentially end up leaving this summer is, of course, Ronald Araujo. As we all know, there is going to be a low release clause in his contract this summer. For how long, who, what, when, where, why, how, what price, we don't know. There's too many rumors to really, hone down on what. But there is going to be a low release clause, and again, it will be coming down to the player himself. 24 Marti came out saying that Barcelona will only listen to offers for Araujo this summer if the player tells the club he wants to leave. So again, Barcelona make it very clear they want to keep Araujo under any means necessary. This time, will they convince him to stay or not? Remains to be seen. If he comes up and says, "Look, I want to leave," will they say, "Oh, why stay? We have this and that." But you know why you want to leave? You want to leave? That still remains to be a question mark. But again, he got a fat new contract, 6-year deal. He's on 300K per week or whatever it is. So unless someone comes with a fat contract, I doubt he'll be tempted in any way, shape, or form. Also, with Eric Garcia probably playing a lot more in the midfield from now to the end of the season. With Araujo, I think we'll get a lot of minutes over the next final, month and a half, 2 months of the season. So I think, and of course, if we are successful, I doubt he will end up leaving. So we'll wait and see what happens to the future of Araujo. But again, it all will depend on the player himself. He will have the final say in where he is playing next season. Let's now discuss some contract renewal updates around the first team at Barcelona. The first update we do have is on the contract renewal of Jules Koundé. According to Bernabeu of Sport, Barcelona have reached a verbal agreement with Jules Koundé to renew his contract until 2030. Of course, Barcelona and Flick are very happy with the player, and the player wants to stay. We'll wait for further confirmation on this. Again, Bernabeu has kind of been a bit of an iffy journalist over the past year or so. But again, we already knew that Barcelona are going to be in talks for Koundé, Lamine, and Rafa alongside Frankie as well. These are the 4 players that are in line and in discussions for renewals, alongside, of course, other ones that are going to be quick solutions. We'll talk about that later on. But hopefully Koundé does stay. I think, of course, he's a world-class player. He's been a bit ropey the past month since he got dropped for the Vallecano game for being late. But we all know the ability of Jules Koundé. He's absolutely world-class as a defender, we could say. And I think, again, he fully deserves a renewal for what he's done since, of course, coming in during that big palanca economic lever summer. So we'll wait and see again for further confirmation, for further details on the renewal, as well as his release clause will be in such. But apparently, according to earlier reports, there is a preliminary agreement between Barcelona and Koundé to continue as a partnership, you could say, until 2030, which, by the way, is only a 3-year renewal for Koundé, not the 4-year like Pedri, Gavi. Of course, Araujo got 5, and we'll wait and see what Frankie gets. Apparently, Frankie's been offered 3-year deals. So everyone's contract's expiring in 2030, so get ready for the summer of 2028. It's going to be absolutely crazy trying to renew all these players again all at once. But again, we'll wait and see on the official details. But right now, according to reports, there are suggestions that Koundé and Barcelona have reached an agreement to continue together for a few more years. The next contract renewal update is on the contract renewal of Fumador Wojciech Szczęsny, Rossadero, Mundo Deportivo came out saying that Tech's performances under Hansi Flick have opened the door for a potential contract extension at Barcelona. If he stays, the club won't pursue another goalkeeper, leaving Naki Peña, who hasn't received a renewal offer until now, likely to seek an exit, with Galatasaray showing interest in him. So again, Barcelona do plan to offer Szczęsny a renewal, and again, he will decide when he will decide. He actually was doing an interview with the Polish media saying that I will decide my future very soon. By soon, we don't know what, I don't really know what that means. Of course, soon could be 3 months from now when the season ends. I think it makes more sense for him to wait until the end of the season, see what we wins, what we will achieve, and how important he is. Of course, he's still undefeated as a Barcelona first goalkeeper, 16 games, 3 draws, and the 13 wins, of course. So I think he's a fully deserving of renewal. But to be honest with him, to be honest, I wouldn't mind if I wouldn't be super upset if he decides not to stay. I think that'd be a great story coming from Barcelona for 6 months, so successful, then dips. You of course seen the loan stories of other players as well, Oba, Dani Alves' return, Adama, Luke De Jong, whatever it may be. So you can bow fall under that kind of regime. So whatever he decides will be cool, and we'll wait and see what that final decision is, which of course will come probably near the tail end of the season. And the final contract renewal update is on the contract renewal of Ferran Torres. The first reports coming out about Ferran Torres potentially extending his contract at Barcelona. Since he joined Barcelona, he's only been rumored to leave, and now we're getting the first reports of him apparently staying. Marca have come out saying that Deco has to speak with Ferran Torres regarding his contract renewal, but the conversation is coming soon. Flick values Ferran highly because of his versatility, good goal scoring ability, and his commitment. So Flick wants Ferran to stay for the foreseeable future. Deco has now begun or even probably discussed renewal talks yet, but he will begin to do so. Again, Ferran, he's been signed, of course, before Kounde, before Szczęsny, and they're all getting renewals ahead of him. Of course, his contract is a bit longer since we signed him during our down bad days, so he had a bit of a longer contract to make it, the amortization much more feasible for Barcelona. Is he deserving of renewal? Honestly, probably not for his time at Barcelona. I guess maybe this season as a super sub, sure, but we've seen him when he starts games this season. Most of the time, he isn't that great. Probably there's no value for him in the market anyways, and he's happy to be a rotational player that says that he sometimes starts, sometimes he doesn't based on his form. So if he's happy with that, I don't mind that per se. I think that's his best role at Barcelona. So as long as the conditions are okay, I'm sure I wouldn't mind myself. So we'll wait and see with Ferran. Very interesting that he's getting a renewal ahead of previous exit rumors, so we'll wait and see on that. And again, the rumors are not concrete. They're saying the idea is there. We'll see if the execution is there or not. Let's discuss some of the injury updates around the first team at Barcelona. Since the Atletico Madrid game, of course, we suffered 2 big injury blows in that game to Marc Casado and to Inigo Martinez. Both players have pulled out of Spanish national team duty this international break. Let's discuss the two of them. Of course, one is better than the other. One is absolutely devastating, and one is not too bad. The one that's not too bad is Inigo Martinez, who will be out for around 2 to 3 weeks, pretty much missing the international break. Best case scenario, he'll be back for the Renewal game. Worst case scenario, then he'll miss it. So maybe missing the first game back after international break. That's pretty much it. So again, okay injury there. I think this is his 3rd time being injured this season, his 6th time being injured for Barcelona since joining on a free transfer from Bilbao. But again, he's been sensational this season, so we can let it slide. Again, the injuries just during the international break, nothing too serious there with Ini. The final one, of course, is the big one. It's on Casado, and Casado, ladies and gentlemen, is ruled out for the rest of the season. So Casado could be sidelined for over 2 months, according to Tony Marti from Sport, with a torn lateral knee ligament suffered in the match against Atletico Madrid. He's officially, of course, out of the national team duty, and we'll wait and see what the extent of the injury is. According to Tony Marti as well, Casado played 40 minutes of the Atletico Madrid game injured. That is, I think he came up with the hour mark as well, which means that he was injured going into halftime. So whether Flick knew or not, or wanted to risk it or not, remains to be seen. So he's going to be out for 2 months. Of course, 2 months from now is basically the end of the season. 2 months from now, you have the Champions League final and the last game against MS. Against Athletic Club in the league. So he's basically out. When he comes back after 2 months, he will not be fully fit to play those 2 games anyways in terms of match rhythm. So he is out for the rest of the season. Marc Casado, huge blows. But the positive side is he does not need surgery. Fernando Porto came out saying that Casado does not need surgery, and the club hasn't ruled out the possibility of him playing in the final stretch of the season, as the recovery process 2 months will go smoothly. However, it's always as always, his progress will determine his availability. So no surgery needed, which of course is a big blow. It was not a complete tear. It was a minor tear, which means that he can do a recovery process without the surgery. So again, unfortunately, his target now is probably, looking at preseason. It is a big blow for Barcelona, especially in that midfield, that depth now, especially defensive-wise. Frankie de Jong's going to be absolutely... If Frankie de Jong gets injured or cooked, because he's basically the only one we have now in that position. Eric Garcia is going to be huge now for Barcelona in these final 2 months, whether it be at center back with Inigo getting injured or in the midfield. We desperately now need Christensen back, but he's so unreliable. I don't think we'll even see him this season again. Hopefully we do, because we definitely need him now with this injury to Casado. It is a big blow for Barcelona. Hopefully we don't sustain from it too much. On some positive news in regards to injury, Ter Stegen is still trying to eye to return this season. He's trying to come back for the Champions League final. He wants to do a Courtois 2.0. Look, Mark, you're a great lad, you own crack. You're not playing the Champions League final. You need to calm the frig down. Szczęsny has been unreal. What's that? 8 clean sheets in his 16 games. I mean, you need to relax your horse. You can come back, sure, get fit for preseason. Want to come back this season, crack on. But the thing that you would start the Champions League final if you came back for it is crazy to me. I mean, if you want to have a chance, I think first thing you need to do is you need to be back by April. You had to play for the whole month of April, whole month of May, and then maybe you could start the final. But in order for you to play, we had to unregister Szczęsny, which I think would be absolutely idiotic. So I don't think he's touching the Champions League final. I think these reports are coming from his camp, his perspective. For me, it makes zero sense for him to play unless Szczęsny gets injured. Of course, Szczęsny gets injured after the season. Sure, you can play Mark. Why not? Probably, I'd much rather have fresh off an injury Ter Stegen than right now in Aki Peña. So I'll keep it that way. So we'll see with Mark. He's very, very adamant to be able to play a Champions League final. If we do, of course, end up making it. If we just don't make it in the end, that'll be, absolutely hilarious. But we'll wait and see on that. But again, very, very unfortunate news after that great win against Atletico Madrid, losing Casado for the rest of the season. Now, the final topic that I want to discuss for the end of this video is in regards to the match against Osasuna that, of course, was suspended at the beginning of this month due to the sudden passing, should I say, of Carlos Munira Garcia, the assistant first-team doctor for Barcelona. We've been always wondering now where this game is going to be played. The Federation have officially announced that the Barcelona match against Osasuna will be played on March 27th. Now, March 27th, if you don't know, is during the international break. If you didn't know, we have 16 players away from international break. This is beyond embarrassing, beyond pathetic, and disgraceful from the Federation to force Barcelona and Osasuna to play an official La Liga game, or in a title race during the international break. Of course, after this game on the 30th of March, we have Girona at home as well. So we're with Girona game, then you have Atletico in the cup, and then you have, I think, Leganes or Betis in the league. Then you have Dortmund, then you have Leganes or Betis in the league. Barcelona, with this game being played on March 27th, play 5 games in 14 days. You know how disgusting that is? Slave work on these players. And I'll tell you this right now for free. It is Tuesday, March 18th. If this game goes ahead on March 27th, we will lose a game. What game? I don't know. Osasuna, Girona, Dortmund, Atleti, Leganes, Betis. Of those 6 games, we're losing one of them. We are not going to win every single one of those games, because you know why? It is impossible. Following this, Ronald Araujo has come out saying that Barcelona's legal department is reviewing the decision by the Federation to schedule the game against Osasuna on March 27th. The club feels aggrieved as many of its international players will return to the club on Tuesday the 25th, and Rafinha and Araujo may even come back later. So theoretically speaking, 27th is all the players will be back, but they would have already played on Tuesday the 25th. So they had to do another 48-hour turnover and play again. Of course, the big games for the Spain national team against Netherlands as well, where we have Frankie de Jong, quarterfinals of the Nation League. It's going to be an intense game. They cannot go 48 hours turnover, which is criminal. Again, it is absolute slave work what they want us to do. Now, for Araujo and Rafinha, there's a bit of positive news. They are both 1 yellow card away from suspension for the World Cup qualifiers in South America. So they're true Blaugrana, born and bred. They got, the Blaugrana colors bleeding in their blood. They get a yellow card in their first game. They get suspended for the next game. They get to come back early. That, of course, would be very, very nice. Both Araujo and Rafinha, 1 yellow card away from suspension in the World Cup qualifiers in South America, so they don't even have to play 2 games. They can come back a week early if they do get that yellow card, so keep your eyes on that. That'll also have a big play. Will also have a big play is that both Osasuna and Barcelona are set to submit an appeal. Not only Barcelona, but also Osasuna as well do not want to play this game on March 27th. They both prefer this game to be played near the end of the season, where there's a gap in May where there's a weekend available or a midweek available. They both won the game there. So I don't know what the hell the Federation are doing. They said in their statement, if you go back to the statement, go back to the statement here, they said, oh, this is the best time to play the game, so it doesn't influence fair play, doesn't dictate importance for the league. What kind of fucking nonsense is that? Osasuna are fighting for nothing, and Barcelona are fighting for everything. It is not plain and simple. So I think Barcelona has more to lose to playing it later. But again, thankfully, Osasuna is on our side. And following this as well, Hansi Flick, according to Marca, was absolutely furious that this game was being played on March 27th during, of course, the national break. He does not understand how that game was played there. He doesn't even know how many players he'll have at his disposal. I was making like a mock team. If you're looking at a mock team for that game, you're looking at Szczęsny in goal. I don't even know who's playing a right back. Eric Garcia, Dominguez center back, Bolde left back, midfield is Gavi and 2 others. Front 3 is Paulo Victor, Ansu Fati. I mean, everyone else is on duty. Hector Forrest with the under 19 team, Pablo Torres and Ferran Lopez with the under 21 team, alongside Jordan Martin as well. He's with them. De Jong's with the, of course, the Dutch team. Olmo, Ferran, Lamine, Pedri, Kubarsi. They're all, of course, with Spain. Inigo, Casado are injured. Bernal is injured. We have no squad. We literally are going to be if this game is taking place on March 27th, half the team will be B team players. Your Tony, your Gili Fernandez, whoever else may be. It will be filled with B team players, which means that Barcelona are going to be handicapped in a league title race to play against a decent Osasuna team with half their good side. Of course, Osasuna will be missing a few players as well. I think Brian Zaragoza is injured. I'm assuming Budimir will go on to international duty with Croatia as well. So they're going to be missing a few of their players as well. But I think their team is still definitely better on paper than ours if we're talking, you know, B teams. Of course, their team, they have, of course, a lot of first team players that are not going to international duty. So we'll wait and see. So again, this game now officially is confirmed for March 27th, but Barcelona and Osasuna have set an appeal, and hopefully they do win this appeal. And we'll wait and see what happens with that. But if this game is being played on March 27th, it's an absolute disgusting move by the Federation. Never in my life have I seen this. Apparently this happened 9 years ago with Real Madrid and Celta Vigo. They both submitted an appeal and it was successful. So hopefully that is the case for this. Playing on the 27th on a Thursday, then playing Sunday, then playing Wednesday, then Sunday, then Tuesday, then Saturday, then Sunday. There's no... Real Madrid are crying that they had 68 hours to prepare for the Villarreal game from the Madrid derby in the Champions League. We're going to have less time. There's going to be points where we're going to have like 60 hours of recovery, which is absolutely blasphemy. So very, very important. The Federation has hope that this appeal does go through, because if not, I promise you, and I don't mean this, I hope this is not true. I hope I'm wrong. I pray to God I'm wrong, but we will lose a game. There's no way in a 6-game run in the space of 2 weeks we're winning everything, all those games. There will be a point where we do lose, 100%. Probably will be this Osasuna game with half the squad being gone, to be honest. So we'll see how things do turn out. Hopefully the appeal does go through, but for now, Barcelona and Osasuna are left, you know, wondering and, you know, raging about this decision by the Federation. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past few days. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, make sure you drop a like down below, and of course in the comments down below as well, let me know your thoughts on everything we did discuss. Main thing, obviously, of course, is your thoughts on Luis Diaz being the #1 target for Barcelona this summer. Your thoughts on him, the player, the profile, and also the price. Secondly, on Alexander Isak, although the club, of course, are a big fan, do you think that we'll ever sign Alexander Isak for Barcelona or not? Thirdly, your thoughts on those renewals for Szczęsny, Kounde, and Ferran. Do you think they're all worth it and well-deserved or not? And finally, your thoughts on the injury concerns of Casado and Iñigo. Of course, that match against Osasuna as well being played on the 27th. Leave me all your thoughts down in the comments below. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below as well if you haven't already. And I will see you guys next time on the channel. Take care and Forza Barca.